friends, my name is Asra. I am studying in 10th standard in Adarsha Vidyalaya, Kanakagiri. Today I am doing a seminar on the lesson Life Processes, which is really an interesting and amazing lesson and which is the first chapter of our biology part. Before knowing about this life processes and the concepts, we should know what is life. What do you think? What is this life? Can you define life? Okay, some may tell that it's really an easy question, but some may think that it's the most complicated question. We cannot define life. So let it be. Next question is, how do you consider something to be alive and something to be not? How do you consider that something is a living and something is non-living? Okay, someone tells that they consider something to be alive because of its movement. For example, a moving cow. So what about plants? They don't move, right? They are stable at that position. Then how do you consider them to be alive? Someone tells that they are green in color, so they are considered to be alive. Okay, then what about non-green plants? They are not green in color, but still they are considered to be alive. How? Okay, they gave up, I can't do anything. The answer is that only one important point is not enough. Only one important movement or the color green is not enough to define life. There are many processes, life processes are going in our body by which we are considered to be alive. Plants, human beings are also considered to be alive. Not only a moving cow. A sleeping cow is also considered to be alive because of the life processes happening in it. And the non-green plant is also considered to be alive because it's moving. It's not moving, but it's growing. It is not visible to our eye, but it is growing slowly. So still it is considered to be alive. And the life processes in the plant is also going, so it is considered to be alive. Okay, I'll ask one more question, that do you consider something to be alive or not? Once again I asked them, so they told that I will give a random answer, that is the God created is the living thing and the man created is a non-living thing. Okay, it's a random answer, we can accept it. Next, now I want to introduce you to yourself. I want to introduce you to your body in just 1 minute. I will explain the processes happening in your body in just 1 minute. Okay, in just 1 minute, whatever you are hearing or whatever you are listening, whatever you are seeing, this information is converted into electrical impulses, and in this way it goes to your brain, and then your brain orders to your body what to do and what not to do. Then this is the process how the brain functions. Next one is heart. Our heart is a very important part of our body, right? Yes, our heart, it looks like this, right? Okay, our heart beats 70 times in a minute, pumping 5 liters of blood to your lungs and 5 liters of blood to entire body, as you can see here. Next one is breathing. We breathe 12 times, breathing in and breathing out, exchanging 6 liters of gases between us and the environment. This is how we breathe. Okay, next one is kidneys. Our kidneys produce 1 ml of urine in just 1 minute. Isn't it amazing? Okay, next we can see a very important or very fact. Okay, we human beings are multicellular organisms, as we all know that. We are made up of many cells. We are from one cells we are here. Okay, this human body has, we know that many cells like millions, billions, trillions. But can you believe it? Just in 1 minute, 300 billion. It's not a small count. Observe, 300 billion cells die in just 1 minute, and of which 40,000 shred out from your biggest organ of the body. Which is the biggest organ of your body? Skin, right? Yes, 40,000 cells shred out from your skin. Okay, this was how our body processes in just 1 minute. In just 1 minute, these are the processes which we knew now. Imagine what happens in our body in our whole life. What are the processes going on? Okay, it's not enough to imagine, right? It's really difficult. Okay, let's now move on. As we all know that human body is a well-organized structure. Human body, an organism, is made up of an organ system, as you can see here. And this organ system has many organs like stomach, liver, heart, kidney, and many more, who have their specific functions to work, and they do their job very well. And these organs are also made up of tissues. Tissues, do you remember where we had heard it? in our previous class, right? In 9th standard, we have learned about different types of tissues. Rememorize. And these tissues are also made up of many cells, many cells, as we are multicellular organisms. And these cells are also made up of small components in it, and which are very essential to our body. And these are our ordered nature. Okay, if it breaks down, our living organism will no longer survive. So because of this cell, tissue, organ system, today we are here. To prevent this breakdown, there should be some process, right? Like maintenance or repairing of these parts. Yes, let's explore about that. The maintenance and repairing of our parts of our body should be in process even when we are not doing any particular work. Even we are just sitting, or we are standing, or we are sleeping, the process should go on. For example, breathing, right? We can't stop breathing when we are asleep, right? Okay, this is how the maintenance and repairing job works. And the process of all the maintenance or repairing job together is what we call life processes, like nutrition, transportation, respiration, excretion, and many more. This is called as life processes. Okay, we all know that everything needs something to do something. Did you understand? I hope you don't. Okay, I will give an example. For example, a car needs fuel to move. A person needs salary to do his job. In the same way, our parts of our body needs energy for the maintenance or repairing job, right? Okay, what is that something? They need energy, right? As we can see here, a human body needs energy to do its maintenance or repairing job. And from what we get this energy? As you all can guess, right? From what? Which we call food. We have food, and from that food we get nutrients, and that energy is transferred to our body, and from the process what we call nutrition, right? Okay, let's move on. In our human body, when we consume something, we have consumed very variety of food, right? And it directly is not digested to our body and not converted into energy. There are many chemical reactions happening in our body even now, and the important one are oxidizing and reducing reactions, right? Okay, and these are all the processes which are happening in our body. And let's move on to respiration. Respiration is nothing but the process of intake of oxygen from the environment into the body to use in the process of breakdown of food sources for cellular need is what we call respiration. This we have studied in our previous class as respiratory system. Do you remember? Okay, I think so. Let's move on. What do you think it is? Can you guess? Paramecium. It's a unicellular organism. In single-cellular or single-celled organism, it's very easy to consume because they are directly in contact with the environment. So whatever they eat, they consume it directly, and as they are single-cell organism, they will excrete it. But what about us humans? Human body is really complicated one, right? We cannot do like them. We are made up of many cells, and we have many organs. We have many parts of our body, and every part do its particular function. We cannot say that you do that job, you do that job, right? Everyone has its particular function, and that function should be done by that only, right? So then we can pose a problem here. Okay, what's the problem? We eat food from only one part of our body, right? That is our mouth. But our whole body needs energy, right? Our whole body needs energy for the maintenance and repairing job. Then how you will give energy to all parts of our body? Any guess? Transportation, right? You should transfer the energy to all parts of our body by a system called transportation. As you can see here, there is a system called transportation in our body, from which all the food, all the energy is transported to all parts of our body. Okay, let's move on. Next one is excretion process. When we eat something, when we consume our food, we create waste byproducts too, and that waste byproducts are not even useless but even harmful to ourselves. So it must be excreted very soon. So there are, in our human body, there are specialized tissue for this excretion process, and here you can see how we excrete our waste byproducts. In this section we learned about nutrition, respiration, transportation, and excretion. We'll study about this in details in our later sections. I hope you have understand it very well. Thank you.